Hey, IDS 302. Welcome to video 6.2. Uh, and I really wasn't thinking I was going to get this out today. Thought I'd do it tomorrow, but so be it. Earlier the better, I think, gives you a chance to see it. Uh, I want to talk about surveys. Some of them are good, some of them are being redone. I want to remind people to do not include any yes or no questions or agree, disagree. Don't include any binary questions. Always give it a scale of intensity, 1 to 5 or whatever. Be careful. I see a lot of you taking my advice and really have a lot of good demographical questions, like where they live in terms of urban, rural, suburban, income levels, things like that, ethnicity, race. Okay, that's great, but make sure you have enough meat on the bones. Sorry, vegetarians, but have enough of that for questions about your topic. I'm wearing my Talking Sopranos shirt. That's just so unprofessional. Uh, so the surveys, really look at them closely before you just post it and ask yourself all the potential for answers, because some of you are asking questions and not giving me any option to answer. Okay, you're focusing either too much on, oh, students are going to do this, or people in the Southwest are going to do this, or Americans are going to do this. It's just random adults. Remember that. So the answers should be applied to anyone. You have to think about this then. I understand that a lot of you are younger and you haven't had that experience to think about things from a standpoint of being 60, but there is there needs to be, if you're asking about student debt, don't just assume that everybody you're asking about student debt has student debt or is in school, or what, make sure you have options to put in there. Okay. Um, and then, I'm trying to look at your surveys as soon as you post them so I can tell you, quick, get this out of here, redo this, repost it, and then good. Now, when you're doing the surveys for your peers, you probably don't have to start until Saturday, because some people are going to redo theirs, but you can start whenever you want. I just don't want to hold anybody back from that. Yes, majority of your data is going to come from your peers, your family, your friends, what have you. That doesn't mean it was meant for them. Remember that. It's meant for random adults. Okay. If you have any questions about that, let me know. With the help of the help desk, because sometimes I ask students to do other students' work, and this class has at least 40 active students, maybe 45, maybe even 50. So I would expect you to have at least 40 responses to your survey just from class. And then you got me, then you got whoever else you posted it to, which I hope is some people, because otherwise your data is going to be really like in a very small group demographic. So, um, I mean, even when you question about who do you live with, I live with my adult son. And so it's hard for me to answer with children. I don't have a roommate. I mean, it's just weird. It's like, so it's just kind of, yeah, it's tough. I'd answer that one with children, of course, but um, so yeah, like I was saying, the help desk, because I know I had classes this size, and some people only get like 10 responses. I'm like, what? So I can track, who participates and who doesn't. I don't want to call anybody on the carpet for that, but I really like you to help your fellow classmates out by participating in their surveys. Okay. Um, Easter egg number one then is complete my classmates survey. Okay, all of them surveys. Complete my classmates surveys. Okay, let's talk about step 4 then. Uh, it's like I said, it's pretty straightforward. If you look at the sample, I like it a lot. You know, Again, I want to remind you there's a format to this, and I'm not trying to get into formatting, but there's a format. Like I said, just like there is to a journalism article, like there is to a novel, to a poem, to different types of writing. Research papers have certain formats that they use. This one, is reflected real well in the sample. Okay. Notice how the step is always at top, Tanner step 4, the running head as the name, maybe the topic, what have you, because remember what we're doing with all these, but just go through that sample and you should mimic that in terms of your concentrations that you've chosen and how these come out. Now, I think it's important to know that, um, remember and consider the big picture here too, okay? I know I'm asking you to do a lot. Trust me, I know this. And you're doing really a fine job. People getting to the finish line, really, really doing well. Um, Remember the overarching picture. This isn't a sequence, a typical class maybe, of a little sequence of all these little different assignments and little exposure to this, that, and the other thing. This is a research project start to finish. I've already had students have benefited from this as they go on to other classes or grad school or what have you, in using Tanner's 5 steps because it's so appropriate for them as interdisciplinarians. There's a myriad of methodologies and designs and ways to do research. This is but one of them. I'm using Tanner's 5 steps. I don't know who's used them before. Got him out of his text, think it's a great guide for getting interdisciplinary research done, so we're using it. But remember how we're doing this. You know, we have our step 1, our step 2, our step 3, our step 4, our step 5. This is all following the steps towards integration, right? Towards the process. So remembering that, and then if you haven't had a chance yet, I really recommend you go into module 7, I think learning materials and the final page paper submission, and take a look at that final paper. Here it comes, there's the on. Take a look at that final paper. How does it look? This is how it gets built up to such a monstrous size that was so intimidating, and now you're probably not finding it. You understand where the length is coming from, and it's not length we're worried about. It just happens. Because at the end of the day, you're going to do a table of contents, then you're going to do your step 1, then you're going to do your step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Then you're going to take all those sources from 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, all the sources you used, and you're going to put them in a final works cited list. So you're not going to have a works cited after step 1 or step 2. Step 3 is annotated, leave it alone. Step 4, step 5, you're not going to have any works cited in those in the final paper. You're going to have one large one, recompiled, re-alphabetized, not just, here's my works cited from 1, 2, 3. No, you put them all in alphabetical order. And you come up with, who knows, a page and a half, 2 pages of sources, right? And then after that, you'll probably do a appendix. The appendix is nothing more than, it's all these, by the way, the works cited starts on the top of a next blank page. The appendix starts on the top of the next blank page. So if your paper ends in the top 4th, whatever, you start at the next blank page for your works cited. Same with your works cited. If that ends in the top, whatever, half, quarter, eighth, you go down to the next top of the next page and you start your appendix. You just list it as appendix and it appears on the table of contents, of course. And you're just going to type out your questions, 1 through whatever, and you're going to maybe bullet point the answer possibilities. You should not copy and paste it. It's going to look like garbage. But if you just type it and bullet point your potential answers, that's a great reference for the rest of your paper, all right? Because remember, without the data, without the design and going after and collecting data, it's not research anymore. It's just a compilation of information. So step 1, again, informed us, what's your problem going to be? What are you going to look at and why? Number 2 is, how do you justify it as being complex, as fitting in an interdisciplinary process of integration? Step 3 is looking at previous research that came before you that resonates with your current research and tells you certain things in those 3 disciplines. Step 4 then is to rehash the purpose and then to look at each of those disciplines from what you've learned in your step 3 and such, and overall on those disciplines, figure out how they compare. What's the perspective of each one? And then how do they work together? How do they conflict? That's an important part, okay? And then you've got your survey, of course, then you're going to collect your data, and then step 5, you're going to go through all that, all right? So try not to get caught up in the minutia, but yes, minutia is important. It's a whole big picture. So Easter egg number 2 is reconsider the big picture, okay? Remember, you're not doing 5 separate papers here. This is all coming together real nice. Like I said, I have one student who took me last year, I think, or in the summer or whatever, spring, and we've had a Zoom meetings and things for another class altogether, or for her 401 with some other advisors. She was doing 5 steps. She asked me about it. She just sent me an email today if I'd review her paper for her before she turns it in. I'm happy to do that. This is, these are students that, care, and I've offered that in this class as well as you go, as you move forward in your career. Of course, I'm not the be all end all to that, but I can give you my opinion, my advice, and it might be helpful if you're doing a 5 step Tanner's 5 steps research paper. Okay. Um, all right. So let's talk about due dates. Due dates. We're getting towards the end. Okay. Here's my thing. I didn't want to bring this up, of course, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. It gets abused, and then everybody tries to get the course done in a week. I don't give any late penalties anymore. Okay. And you know that because you're watching the video. The people that don't watch videos don't know this. I am not freaking out over whether it's Sunday, Friday, Thursday, whatever. You get me the paper. I'd rather have quality work than to have you rushing for a random deadline that's only going to be punitive at this point. I want you to get rewarded for the work you put into things. Okay? So you don't have to worry about late penalties anymore. Okay? Because all we have left is step 4 and step 5, the final paper, and a couple of discussions that are piece of cake, at least one that piece of cake, So no deadlines. Don't abuse it. Don't try to get everything done in 2 days next weekend because it won't happen. It won't be good. Okay. If you have any questions about that, let me know. I know there's confusion already because I said the 23rd the course ends. Then the due date I have on the final paper is the 25th, which is Sunday. And I did that on purpose with everything. I kind of moved to the 25th just in case there were people that I'm working with that fell behind and are going to redo some work. And if that's you and you're watching this and you have work that you didn't turn in for one reason or another, let's talk. You can email me, okay? Don't submit like a quarter of a paper and then say how rough things are going after that fact. Why aren't you communicating? Haven't I made that clear? Telling me I'm very, very workable when it comes to students who care and want to complete it. There's plenty of students in the class that aren't doing any work and don't care, right? That's fine. I'm not judging. I don't judge anybody here. Because again, like I said, I took a year of community college in the early 90s. And then I went to Marquette University for one semester. It's a very expensive school. And I was taking some interesting classes, had my vision of being a lawyer or something. And then I got a job with Milwaukee County, the sheriff's office there. And I said, whoa, I got to feed a family. And this is good money back in the day. So I took it and I dropped out again. I didn't think of college again until 2010, when I was 52. It happens. I don't care who judges me. It's none of my business, right? I got my degrees and here I am. So I don't judge you for that. Everybody's got priorities. Take that stress, throw it away. It's not, don't worry about me. Don't worry about apologies. Be yourself, do your strength, prioritize what you need to prioritize. Okay. Hope that helps you out a little bit. And don't worry about due dates right now. Okay. But be careful. Don't let too much slide to the end. All right. So, yes, I will accept work through the 25th. No, I won't. I'm going to accept work through the 26th. How's that? Monday the 26th. I will change the due dates for the final paper and things to the 26th. Because as I understand it, that's finals week. You may have finals. If you do, good luck. So you may want to get this off the table, off your plate before then. In any event, I'm doing the 26th. I'm going to score things up through the 26th as I get them, of course, as we get towards the end. I don't like to get barraged on the first day the classes are closed because I want to get your grades in by Wednesday the 28th. I want to get them formalized. Remember, it's based on points. What I strongly encourage you to do is to go over your work and your scores to find out if you're missing anything, Easter eggs, what have you, that you can submit, or you can say, hey, I sent this to you, or I put this in, or hey, could I put it in, right? I want students to pass this course. It's a difficult course. I want you to pass. If you have the incentive to pass, you pass, okay? All right? So, but you need to communicate. You can't just, I know there's a lot of professors who just say, you didn't do it, hell with you. But I'm not one of those. I'd like to see you pass, but you got to do the work to pass, right? Is that fair? I think so. Okay, so Another thing then is the course evaluation that you're getting by email. It's not the discussion board. You know what it is, course eval. It comes, it's the survey for the ASU. Right now, I can tell you, I got an email this morning, and it was disregard my email from Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I got an email and it says 6 sections are combined in this class for 61 students. So far, a number received in each section are 1, 1, 0, 2, 3, 0. Means I've gotten 7 evaluations are in. I don't see them again. They're just giving me an update to remind your students they can complete them on their laptops and their smartphones. If possible, give them some time, class time at the end of the period to do them. Well, we don't have periods, we don't have class time, so I can't do that. But it says increase your course evaluation response rates! Exclamation, exclamation. You can find them on your ASU, should be found on my ASU page, right? Look on the bottom kind of menu, bullet point menus there. I think it's probably in their evaluations, but you're getting emails. You are, you know you are. So I'd appreciate if you do that, okay? I push it, but I don't like go crazy about it because you know what it's like. You go crazy enough, then people are going to put in bad evaluations too. So, I mean, yes, you can get your pound of flesh anonymously, but I don't know who you are. No, I don't know. Um, I know there's a lot to this class. I know I always keep making it evolve to make it better. You guys have it better, believe it or not, than the last class, but not as good as the next one because I'm going to clean it up and do some things. There won't be any less work, really, though. It just might be done differently. Got some kind of dang thing. I was riding my Jeep around without, top open, and so what are we at? 17 minutes. That's it. Okay, so Easter egg number 3 is submit your course eval. All right, please do that. And again, stay in contact. Again, I know this isn't your focus of your life right now, but it is an investment that you're making in your own future and getting your degree. And you should feel good about earning your degree, and especially in this class, which is part of your degree program, right? Any questions, comments, concerns, you just let me know, okay? I talk to students a lot on the phone, on calls, and Zoom, and email. I do like phone calls better because you can put your paper up, I can look at it, we can talk, what have you, right? So that's it, 18 minutes, how's that? Not bad, huh? So let's say forks up, peace.